I can understand the need for security in society. It protects us all. But what I fail to understand is why governments around the world feel the need to gather information on us, their own citizens. As far as privacy goes, this government has not been number one in defending our right to it. Although Canada may not have the worst case of this, I think our government is seriously pushing the limit. We are already collecting trade information by bugging political leaders' phones to gain a simple economic advantage. There is a certain amount of international integrity that we have allowed our government to sacrifice in the name of information gathering. How long before we follow in the despicable tracks of the NSA and start spying on our own citizens in the name of national security? What business is our emails and text messages to the government? I shouldn't have to worry about what I say or not being recorded when in a private atmosphere, and neither should you. What matters to me is that I don't want to always have to assume when I send something with a government employee who's also going to be reading my private conversations in the name of data collection and security. The thing that really gets me going about this, that somehow my want for privacy can translate to me being unpatriotic in a sense. This government's lust for data collection and knowledge has reached a limit. Not to mention the majority of Canadians have read the literary works of Orwell. He speaks about exactly this. If left unchecked, this kind of invasion of privacy can lead to a totalitarian state. I'd rather live in a free and just society knowing, yeah, there's a possibility for a security risk, than be living on the animal farm or in 1984. Instead of spending all this money worrying about potential national security risks, how about you take that money and spend it on educating your citizens on how to better behave socially to minimize these risks, and implement more programs educating the people we bring to this country on how we function and what's tolerable and what's not. A simple explanation can save lives, but you want to know it's not going to save nearly as many lives? Tapping your tax-paying citizens' phone calls and collecting every email they've ever sent. What you're going to end up with is a bunch of disgruntled people who have no love or trust for the government. The only thing I feel that's really endangered and needs more security is our right to privacy. But of course this is all justified because it's done in the name of protecting us. What constantly seems to be overlooked is our right to privacy as a basic human right. In an age where technology is constantly advancing, the government must be working to translate that right to new platforms and in new ways, not using these new technologies to their advantage and as a scapegoat to intrude on our private lives. And a lot of people are probably thinking, well, if you have nothing to hide, what worries you about this? As if governments are not capable of committing nefarious acts on their citizens without provocation. I'm worried about the disintegration between the barrier between my life and the government. Perhaps the scariest part of all this is just the mere thought that we could draw any parallels between the society we live in and the Orwellian universe we got a clear glimpse of in Animal Farm. People should be able to aspire to be as much as an individual as Holden Caulfield himself without having to worry about a government intruding on how they express themselves. The thing about political issues like this is they start out small, resembling a tiny tree. If not cut early enough, it turns into a giant oak with thousands of branches, and we are simply unable to remove it.